And when I go through your discography, when I go through your life story, it's just like, wow, man, you are really, really a legend. And you out here still smiling, still touring.
Man, I've been blessed in this shit.
Right.
I started back pre-Motown era.
Woo.
I started back in the doo-wop days when they made records for you to dance up close and grind and shit.
You light a fire and you go like this.
Yeah. Oh, no, it was just slow in the basement with the lights out. That was the 50s. So I started, back then with Frankie Lyman and all of that.
EFM, remember?
You know what I'm saying? And we moved into the Motown era. Temptation was my idols, and Smokey Robinson, all those was my idols. By the time we got a hit record, 67, they were peaking. Motown was peaking. The Jackson had just came to the label. You know what I'm saying? And we figured we missed that. So we got one hit record out in 67.
And you're located where, in Jersey?
I was in Jersey at the time, Newark.
Okay.
But you were born in North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Okay. Right. And went to Plainfield and Newark, right?
I worked in Plainfield. I was a barber. I did hair.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The process of the dudes.
Right.
That was playing out. James Brown say, cut your do off. So that shit was playing out, and Afros was coming in.
Right.
So we got a hit record just in time.
Right.
With a record called I Want to Testify.
Oh, Testify.
That was, and like I said, we was into the Motown thing, but it was peaking. It was, as soon as we got the hit.
And at that time, they was comparing you to the Temptations.
Yeah, we wasn't tall enough. We was short. We was cool, but wasn't that cool. But we got that hit record. And like I said, it was changing. Rolling Stone, Beatles, and European was coming in to the country doing the same music that my mother and father liked. The blues, the twist and shout from the Isley Brothers, music from the mid-50s and stuff, 40s. They was doing that, so we realized that we had to change. We had to change our style right when we got a hit record. We flipped it into what Jimi Hendrix was doing with the psychedelic, the acid.
Right.
We dropped our share of acid. We got fucked up. And next thing you know, we was in that. We had a guitar player we were just listening to a few minutes ago, Eddie Hazel.
Right.
Did the record Maggot Brain. So we were a psychedelic rock band, black, underground music. We knew we wasn't trying to get 45s every day, or hit record 45 every 2 months. But
does psychedelic mean mushrooms?
Acid.
No, it was
LSD.
Yeah.
Right.
Mushroom was.
I like it.
Mushroom was the light version.
At the height of like the Vietnam War, the anti-war.
The height of the Vietnam War.
I mean, that's what all that stuff.
That whole movement was about stopping that war. The hippies and everybody that was tripping and looking for that far out place. Well, we did that. We was lame as hell, but we did that and went crazy with it. Because we thought we was cool. We had the best acid. We freaked out, and like I said, we had the best guitar player and keyboard player in the world, Bernie Worrell, keyboard player, classical trained, Eddie Hazel, who was like the next Jimi Hendrix. And then we had our doo-wop singing group. And Billy Bass all of them was under 16.
Wow.
Of the band. Our band was like our little brothers. We were like 19 and 20. And they was like 15 and 16. So we had a hell of a band that nobody else could keep up with. We were doing psychedelic music with a black band. We went back to play the Apollo Theater. And, we had changed from the suits. They knew us with suits. And we came back there with dashikis and diapers and nothing. We was wearing anything we put our hands up. And like I say, we was tripping. So we was extra cool.
So did that come from tripping, or was the wardrobe was the styling coming from?
We probably would have did it anyway. But we was down for whatever it took to make it. But just so happened when we made it, the kids was in charge. The hippies was in charge of everything. That was where you got your education and shit at. And we got pretty much educated on the road because we played a lot of colleges and shit.
But let me ask you something, right? As hip-hop started to emerge and you started to see, like, the first people of hip-hop, it felt like they were mimicking you.
Well,
How did you feel?
We got it. Africa Bambaataa.
Yes, yeah.
We got it.
Zulu Nation.
If one of our albums called Uncle Jam's, if you look at the back of the album, it's got all our fans from each city, from the fan club on there. Africa Bambaataa name is the first name on the album.
Oh,
wow.
He was like 14, 15 years old. Okay, this was.
You really are the godfather of hip-hop.
I mean,
holy shit, I didn't know.
Zulu Nation and all of that was like the first thing that that we saw of that, and we got familiar with it real early in the game. Didn't know what it was going to be. We had a friend from the Bronx that used to sell T-shirts for us. He was 16, and he used to had a boombox on his back. And he played Flashlight, and he was selling the flashlights, and he was rapping to the music. This was during the intermission.
Your song Flash.
Between Bootsy's song sets and our set. He would sell so many flashlights from rapping and doing. We was like, what the fuck is he doing? Everybody liked it, and it was already happening in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, and we didn't know, and they kind of hipped us to it. And from then on, we would watch Public Enemy. Rakim was my favorite right from day one. Wow. I mean, all the way through, I watched him do his thing, and the whole hip-hop thing was like P-Funk continued. We said P-Funk was the DNA for hip-hop.
Right.
And I got a friend over there, Mark Bass. He produced Eminem's first 7 albums.
Oh, wow.
I produced... I produced him, and he produced my son right back when they first started.
Wow.
So I watched all of it. Dre and them, when we came out to L.A., they used our name, Uncle Jam's Army. That was the name of the club, him and Battle Cat and all that.
Big up Battle Cat.
They was DJing. They hadn't even had NWA yet.
Right.
So we watched them go from...
What were they?
World Class Record Crew.
I watched them, the whole LA Dream Team and all of that. We was right in with them, providing beats. I mean, I made an album called Sample Some of Disc and Sample Some of That. Because I saw it coming, and they was getting in so much trouble trying to sample and not get caught or hide it. We made it available. It still didn't work. I mean, the record companies beat us anyway. But we made it available. We knew that we had to be a part of this because this was the DNA of funk. It just changed names. And so we became part of that. And we stayed with Public Enemy, did one of our records, Tweaking with us, right when they first started.
Now, you did one of the... Like, me and EFN thought we were smart at one time. And we sold one show, but we sold it 3 times, right? Like, meaning we had a prescription base, we had it on YouTube, and then we had it on television.
3 distributions for one show, right?
But I'm looking, and I'm like, the Parliament and the Funkadelic were the same goddamn people. I said this motherfucker did this shit 30 years ago.
Not only that, Bootsy, his band was the same people, too. The same people that played in Bootsy's band was the same people that played in Parliament, played in Funkadelic.
When I saw that, I was like, yo, he sold the same band.
And the girl group, the Brides of Funkenstein, Parlette, was the same people. Again, Bootsy played bass on theirs. He played, Bernie played on them. We all were the...
It was Wu-Tang was the first
60 people.
I'm like, holy
60 people. When we went out on tour with the Mothership.
That's crazy.
60 people in the same 60 played on everybody else's record. You just be the lead this time and we back you up. You be the lead next time and we back you up.
Let me look at the people right now. Ain't nothing new under the sun.
I mean, we thought we really like Wu-Tang because they got the concept. They got
when I actually. That's exactly what I thought of. The first thing I thought of when I said that, I said, "Damn, RZA got the
concept.
RZA, he copied you.
He produced everybody,
and they all played supporting role on each albums.
Everybody was with each other.
Because that was my next question. The bands wasn't on the same record label.
No. We was on all the labels. matter of fact, that's what they got.
That is genius.
Matter of fact, that's what got us in trouble. Because they looked around and we had somebody on every label and they thought we would eventually start our own label and call everybody back to the label.
And you be the Motown.
We didn't want to do that. Everybody was doing all right where they were at. We had a bunch of young kids behind us my son and all the other bands that was ready to be on our label. Roger Troutman.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know we did more Bounce to the Ounce.
Wow.
That's a P-Funk record at the same time, Knee Deep, One Nation, all them. We did Roger, he was Roger in the Human Body.
Wow.
You know, and when he came out with Roger album, that was the beginning of us separating. The record companies were so scared we was going to become Motown again.
Right.
Because, you know, Motown took over the dance floor.
Right.
They owned shit.
Right.
And
that was the first black ownership.
yeah, and they did it so seriously.
Right.
And the industry was never trying to let that happen again.
Damn, this is so much history.
That is
Like,
crazy.
You know,
yo,
and so
dude, I ain't gonna lie.
they
I
started
need a drink.
they started trying to split us up.
I need vodka
Right.
and club soda and with a lemon. And yeah, all the
So,
shit.
so how do they go about splitting you guys up? Like, what were they getting in everybody's ear?
When they come between you and your friends.
Right.
Right.
That's how they separate you.
Right.
If
They say he ain't getting paid.
you ain't getting paid faster, and they be in control of the payment.
Right.
Right.
So it end up, if they work with getting in between you, you end up having a problem getting your people together.
Right.
Now we going through that, trying to reacquaint ourselves with all our friends to make sure they get paid. I'm working with Ben Crump right now.
Right.
You know, trying to get the whole industry thing for, you know, black musicians and all musicians, really.
I don't know if you've seen it, but Chuck D had filed a lawsuit against Universal, and he actually won.
This whole
Like, actually, like, because these contracts that they were saying that was being signed back then wasn't legal.
they're not. They, you
Right.
know, they try to say that you signed for life,
Right.
perpetuity,
And throughout the universe?
throughout the universe. None of that stuff don't.
Right.
But you have to be able to do it from a civil rights standpoint. The law standpoint, if you don't do it in time, you got, you know, you
Right.
run out of time. They got all those legal things they can wiggle with your lawyers.
Right.
So, and you have to worry about your lawyer getting paid off on under the table.
Right.
And all that. So we've been doing this, fighting this for like 35, 40 years.
Yeah.
Now we got it pretty much under control. We getting our copyrights back. Like I say, Ben Crump is our lawyer, along with some expert music lawyers.
Right.
And we getting ready to get, the news gonna break in a minute. You ain't gonna believe the stuff that you hear. You know, songs like Humpty Dance.
Yeah.
The Humpty Dance.
Digital
Chuck
Underground.
G and all them
Yeah.
was our
Rest
friends
in
when,
peace, Chuck
when
G.
they were a singing group before they
Right.
ever rapped.
Right.
When Tupac was dancing, they would, you know, we was tight with them. And the song they did, Humpty Dance, is Let's Play House on a Parliament record.